Hey, Kitchen Table Wargamers, we're back. This is going to be a fun, feisty little match. We have the Adeptus Mechanicus, AdMech. They are here today to challenge the Drukhari. I am experimenting with my Drukhari list, and wanted to see how it would hold up against the ridiculousness of AdMech shooting, which you'll see in a minute. So for my Warlord, she has the Triptych Whip. She has Competitive Edge for her Warlord trait, and she is a Master Succubus, and that's about all there is to say about her. Then we have this Mr. Tech Priest Dominus, and he has a few things. Why don't you run through those again for me, Wes? Because
not a problem.
I don't remember all that.
For the Warlord trait, he's taking Divinations of the Magos.
I did remember that one, so
Yeah.
you get your Exploding Sixes, because most people always pick that.
Oh, it's awesome. And then you can also change it to reroll charge, or basically then make their advance rolls better, but those are nice.
But yeah,
But we're not punching in this list.
That's all cute. We don't want that. We want shooting.
Exactly. And then for the Relic, he's taking the Phosphophoenix, which replaces his Phosphor Serpenta.
Very nice.
Better pistol.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So we'll show you the armies, and then we'll get on with the game. Woo-hoo-hoo. This is going to be a spicy one. It could go very, very badly for either of us, but I'm a little bit worried about the shooting. You'll see in a second. This is going to be crazy. So we'll be back in just a minute to look at the armies. All right, folks, here we are with the Drukhari list. This is an experiment, as all my lists will be for a while. I can't decide on lists yet. There's too many fun things to try and experiment with. This is a double battalion. It is the most expensive CP build I have made, which is why I probably won't do it more than once. Because most of this stuff I could probably put into a triple patrol and save myself a lot of command points. But I'm playing it today because it seems entertaining. So we'll start off with the Cabal of the Black Heart, which I have not run since the new book came out. He's my Archon. He is not the Warlord, but he will get the extra Warlord trait for Ancient Evil. I really like that. Making things fight last, which won't matter much in this particular matchup, but I like to just build a list that I think will be fun all the time. Drazar is in there. He's as a second HQ choice. Then I have a squad of 5 Cabalite Warriors with a blaster in there. Got 5 Mandrakes rocking around in there. For my other 2 troops, I'm taking 2 squads of Racks. These guys can slot in there. They don't gain any benefits from Blackheart. They don't break Blackheart. They're just there to hold the ground, and they're slightly more durable than Cabalite Warriors. So I'm trying that out. Maybe I don't like that. Maybe I do. I don't know. I've got 2 5-man squads of Incubi. They're not correctly split up there, particularly model-wise, but they're there. 10 Incubi split into 2 squads of 5. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Raiders with a Dark Lance and 3 Ravagers with the triple Dark Lance. So there's a lot of Dark Lance. I might not be alive long enough to do any good if AdMech goes first, but it's going to try. Then I have a Cult of Strife Battalion. This is the Warlord, as you've already seen. This is my second in command here. She's got the Shardnet and Impaler with Dark Lotus Toxin. And yes, well, just to clarify, I always have to say it. She's old school enough that she just uses the snare. She doesn't need a whole net. She's just cool like that. 2 bare bones 5 witch squads here. This one has an agonizer, this one has a power sword. But other than that, they're just plain Jane witches. And then 10 blood brides, because you shouldn't leave home without them if you're playing cult of anything. So there's an agonizer, blast pistol, got the Hydra gauntlets, got the shardnet, and the razor flails, because that's what the points said I could do. So they'll be doing their thing. I've got 6 ravagers today. Not ravagers, 6 reavers today. 2 of them have blasters, and the other guys are just regular dudes. And I have 5 Hellions, all with the Hellglaives and the Splinter Pods. So that is my list. It is precisely 2,000 points. You know, it'll be fun. It'll be entertaining, and hoping I will learn some things. Maybe I like it and maybe I don't. Who knows? But we'll be back next to look at the AdMech list, which is got more bullets and daka than I would like to think about. Coming up right now. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Adeptus Mechanicus, the force that is arrayed before me. It is a battalion. It is a Forge World Mars. Easy things to point out. 4 squads of Vanguard over here. And then 11 Fulgrites.
Yes, Fulgrite Electro Priest.
Did that right. Electro Priest this time. I can also easily identify 4 Castellan robots. They all have the phosphor blasters, triple loadout. Yeah, because it's dumb. It's amazing, but Cybernetic Datasmith, he does have some extras. If you would like to illuminate us.
Certainly. I gave him a Mechanicus locum to give him a warlord trait, and that is the necromechanic, so he'll heal better. And I also spent an extra point to give him the Autocadeus of Arkham to make sure he heals even better.
He just heals really good.
Yes.
And I love how the AdMech have really hard things to pronounce. It's it's a thing. And I forgot to ask, are there two or are they one
giant unit of 4?
1 unit of 4. Excellent. Then we've got a big unit of 6 destroyers, and they have the grab cannon.
They have the grab cannon and Cognis flamers.
And the flamers. So they're gonna rock around and pick stuff up. You've seen the warlord. We talked about him briefly. And then, hello, it's Belisarius Call, who is not the warlord, but he's okay with that. And does he have extra anythings?
Yes, I gave him a Mechanicus locum as well, and he is taking his relic, his warlord trait, which is static Psalm code.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
he'll have an extra 3 inches on his auras.
Lovely. Then we have 2 Sidonian Dragoons.
Yep.
2
Iron Strider Ballistarians.
Thank you. I knew it was a B in there somewhere. Yeah.
Yes. And they will have the Twin Cognis autocannons.
Autocannons for days. That's bullets everywhere if you haven't noticed. And 2 Dune Crawlers, because you should always have them just for grins. I think they're great.
Oh, they're wonderful.
They have 2 different weapons. This one's the Eradication.
The Eradication
Beamer.
With a Cognis stubber up top.
Yep.
You have to pay extra for that. And the other one will have a neutron laser Cognis stubber with an extra Cognis stubber.
Yes, yep, that's right. They get the 2 for that. Yeah. So there you have it, folks. 1999 points, so I've informed Wesley that I'm already going to win because I'm at 2,000, but that's the only advantage I'm going to have in this. I don't know, unless I close gaps real quick. Or if I go first, I might have a prayer. This is going to be wild. So, was there anything else funky with your list, or these are all your good old standard?
Nothing really funky about it. It's just going to be a whole bunch of daka, both long range and short range, and it's
all my 5-up saves are going to feel real bad.
Price to move.
It's going to be crazy. All right, so we'll do mission deployment, all that good stuff, and we'll show you what's going to be coming your way in just a minute. Well, ladies and gentlemen, wargamers and all, we have rolled up mission number 12. I don't even remember what it was called after I said that. We both blanked on it. It was open. Search and destroy? No, this has the raise objective for the secondary. It was number 12. Well, he's looking. That's hilarious. We're like... Scorched Earth! That's the one. Wow. Complete Blaine Brank. There we go. Yeah. It's getting better. Should we start over? Nah, we'll leave it as it is. Wesley has actually taken the raise objective for the secondary, which I'm impressed with. I think I tried it once and I scored 0, so I've never really tried it again. So here's the layout. We've got kind of this lunar Martian type server. We'll go Mars, right? Because it's AdMech. They're defending themselves. The Drukhari forces have popped up out of nowhere because that's what we do. You do get 6 objective markers in this, and it is a hold 1 for 5, hold 2 for 10, and more than your opponent for 15. So that's going to be spicy. We've also both taken raise the banners, so fun times. I'm taking the bring it down for killing lots of vehicles. I could, if I actually kill all of them, get 14 points out of it. That's the big if. He has also taken while we stand, because it's going to be really hard to get rid of the Castellan robots, the destroyers, and Call. Those are the while we stand things there. So they're all things I need to kill, all things he doesn't want me to kill, and they're all things that are hard to kill. This is going to be crazy. So that's going to be cool. I'm engaging on all the fronts, and he has raised. So there you have it for our secondaries, and you should have seen a bit of deployments here. On the AdMech side, he does have a little squad of Vanguard hiding over the wall right there. Yep, and then there's another little squad right there. Then you can see the Castle of Death here. It'll be hard to approach from any fronts, sides, or directions other than dead on. Some more Vanguard. And then on this side, it's just one more Dune Crawler, and then these are the Iron Striders on this side.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're autocannons. And of course, what are they looking at? They're looking at some things I put on my side. So I've got some Mandrakes back here, Reavers. This has the Succubus with the Shardnet, an Impaler, and then the 2 squads of Witches, the 5 Witch squads. Then I have, this is a Ravager. Another Ravager right here. A Raider with a Drezar, Incubi, and some Racks. Over here, got some little Cavalite Warriors, Hellions. Got another Ravager and a Raider with this one is the Blood Brides and the Triptych Whip Bearing Lady. And then this one is the one that has the Archon, some more Incubi, and some more Racks. That is how they're all split up. Nobody's in the webways, nobody is in strategic reserves. Everybody is here to be seen. Unfortunately, if he goes first, that means they're also here to be shot. So, let's have a roll. Go ahead, sir. Be the guest.
Hacha.
Oh, excellent.
No.
Excellent. Can I do better? Oh, I can. I have rolled a 6, sir. And because, how appropriate, I'm playing Cabal of the Blackheart today, I rolled the Blackheart symbol. So that means I might have a chance to do something before everything dies. So, turn 2... he's going to shoot the mess out of what's left of my army. But for turn 1, I'm going to have a partay. So we'll be back after the Drukhari. Turn 1. Well, the Drukhari turn 1 is over. There was some good news. There was some bad news. My little Cavalite Warriors raised a banner. My Hellions raised a banner. My Raiders, these 2 both advanced. They got a whopping 1-inch advance, and I needed an 8, and I rolled a 7. So proud of them. That one also needed an 8 because I got a 3-inch advance. And it rolled an 8. No, it rolled an 11. Yep. So I plopped my behind over there on that objective just to be spicy, and I hit those Dragoons, and the Dragoons hit me back really hard. I hit a lot, actually, but I only got like 3 wounds through, and he saved one of them. Anyways, it is what it is. Now, because of the Blackheart advancing and charging, I gave up those Darklance shots. And I had 3 Ravagers and a Raider that all shot at the Castellan robots. And this boy rolled so many 6s. It was unbelievable. I got a whole 1 to go through. It did 5 wounds, so it didn't even kill a robot. Dropped it to 1 wound, which, we know isn't going to last long. That was amazing. I think you made like 4 or 5 6-up saves.
Something like that.
Yeah. So every one of my Ravagers has now been wounded, and a Raider. They've all taken a wound from 6s bouncing back at them. And others, and then just lots of 4-up saves because they're into Aegis, so they had a 4-up. It was crazy. Not what I hoped for. These guys moved up. They did not advance. So we shot into the Castellans with the blasters. Also took a wound. It's ridiculous. Every unit that shot at those things, he made a 6. Although he did have to spend a command point to reroll to get that one. But I think it's still worth it. So we took a wound on those guys. And then... failed to charge. And it was funny, like, I had a big deliberation about whether I should reroll this one going into these autocannon boys. And I decided not to because I was going to save it for one of my other 3 things that were charging. They failed by an inch, and I just apparently was demoralized enough, I didn't reroll it. I really should have rerolled this one because I wasn't intending to reroll back there. So they didn't make it in, and that means that most of this flank is probably going to get wiped out because there's a lot of shoosting. But anyways, it was fun. Spread out, got into the board in places, which would be great against a lot of armies. This particular army has the firepower to remove all of me in 1 turn. So we'll see what is left after the AdMech get their turn 1 to shoot at me. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, this Raider was here. I shot, and then I used Never Stationary to move over there to get out of line of sight. Well, not out of line of sight, but it's at least a -1. He's got a bunch of ways to ignore that, but that is what it is. So I am now at 4 commandular points, and Wesley is down to 6 command points. Well, he's about to get 1. So that's it. That was the end of my turn 1. I didn't get nearly as much done as I hoped, other than to get into places that might help me in the near future. So we'll see what's left after battle round 1 is over. We'll be back in a minute with AdMech, turn 1. All right, folks, AdMech turn 1 has ended. Look at this. I'm starting here because these things are still alive. Didn't take any wounds. Man, that was from when it shot and got hurt. Over here, no wounds. Proud of them. This thing has suffered suffered horribly from explosions, not from getting attacked. That one exploded. That one exploded. I killed. Okay, this was fabulous over here. This was just the most ridiculous thing. So this raider that had Drazar had 5 incubi and 5 racks. It was alive on like 4 wounds, 5 wounds, I think, at the beginning of the turn. So he actually puts in 3 of these destroyers into it. I used lightning fast, which helped because the destroyers, those 3 did not kill it. It was alive on a wound. Call shoots at it, saves everything. Night shields for the win. The tech priest then has to shoot at it, finally kills it. I rolled 5 ones, disembarking 11 dudes out of this raider. So I ended up killing off 3 racks and 2 incubi. So I had 3 incubi left with Drazar, 2 racks sitting on the objective. Then, yeah, so that was fine, right? So then there's this raider still in combat over here. So we're hanging out. That's all good news. I managed to wound a destroyer in the explosion from this back boat over here. I also wounded this raider, and I don't even remember if I wounded these guys or not.
1 wound.
It was 1 on the Sidonian Dragoons. All right, so there we go, and I killed a whole vanguard. Yes. Okay, so that's this side of the board over here, right? So that's all cute, well and good. And then back here, this Ravager, it died, which is not shocking. It did require 3 of the destroyers, I think, shot at it. So the back row shot into this one, took a couple wounds. Then 2 of the robots shot it and finally killed it. And yeah, this robot over here got healed all the way back up because they're AdMech, and he did actually use a stratagem because his first roll he healed at 1, and he re-rolled it for free. Oh no, it was 2 because it has a +1 into a 1. So it only got 2 wounds back from that. So then he used the stratagem to heal it a second time and rolled a 4. So it was all good. Not shocking there. So everything over there is just doing its thing. These Vanguard did move up and raise a banner. So we're good. The Fulgurite Priest, they charged in and just wiped these guys out. No surprise there. Take my combat drug marker away. So all their little skulls, the poor Reavers, there are, whatever. This boat also got shot by some Castellan robots. Or no. Yes, this one did. Yeah. It is somehow, it only took 3 wounds. Like, I'm really proud of it. It's very cool. Oh, this one exploded. Everything exploded. I only killed 1 Mandrake, and I think it was outside of range to hurt that one. So yeah, another explosion. So the Fulgurites, they came in, they did their thing. This raider over here also got shot. I think the Dune Crawler finished it off. I killed nobody getting out of this raider. Same with the last raider on that side that exploded, the one that had the Archon. Nobody died. So what just happened is my dice decided I can get a perfect disembarkation once, then I'll lose 5 or 6, and then I can get another perfect disembarkation. I would like it to spread out. But anyways, so what I did was I was as clever as I could possibly be. I got the succubus out. She was inside the bubble of 5 units here, or 5 models there, and 5 models there, because these are 2 5-witch squads. But she was within 3 to consolidate. Not consolidate, heroically intervene. So in the charge phase, she heroically intervened into the Dune Crawler, and then in her pile-in, tagged the Iron Striders. Yes, those guys. So she's got them into combat. She got kicked in the face by the Dune Crawler in combat and took a wound. But yeah, it's wild. And she did actually kill one in her fight. She fought and killed an Iron Strider. So crazy turn. In some weird ways, there are more things alive on the board for me than I thought there would be. And then in other ways, like everything exploding on itself, other things got really badly hurt. So craziness. I'm very excited about that. That skull, I killed a destroyer by blowing up raiders. That's the only good thing that came out of that. It's the only good thing that came out of that, because I never finished the story over here. When this second raider exploded, it killed my last 3 incubi. And then took 3 wounds on Drazar. It was rough. Like, just bad. Explosions were not okay. So there we have it. That is the end of the AdMech turn 1. Battle round 1 is done. And we are looking at some scoring and things. It's ridiculous. So I engaged on fronts. I did finally kill an Ballast Iron Strider. So I got a bring it down point. That was like my triumphant moment. Yes, I'm so excited. And then I killed a Vanguard. And then none of his stuff ran away. All of my stuff got hurt bad enough to just die. Didn't have to worry about morale. Fantastic. And I've raised 3 banners. He's raised 1. So we'll add those scores up in a minute. And I'm really excited that he's used all his command points. It makes me so happy. Because Wrath of Mars isn't going to be killing my Ravager next turn, hopefully. Yeah, maybe. Unless he's got other tricks to get more command points, and then I'll be real sad. We'll find out. Nah, he's like, I got the special codex. Yeah, it's got that extra page in it. Anyways, we'll be back in a second to go over Drukhari turn 2 and see if I can make something happen out of this insanity that is the board. Yes. Let's see. Well, I have plans. I have ideas. I don't know if they'll work, but I have thoughts. The Drukhari turn 2 is over. We spent probably 15 minutes after this turn ended discussing the woes and the wishes for 9th edition codexes to all be brought out. This was a ridiculous turn for the Drukhari. I will start by saying he did nothing. Just still hitting top tier. Did nothing. Made me very sad and it made me very concerned. And then the rest of the turn went much better. So we'll go over this way. The Blood Brides got out with the Triptych Whip gal. They advanced and got across the terrain over here and were right in front of the destroyers. And my Drazar came up here and he made a charge into the destroyers, but they're not there anymore. My Archon likewise was over here, ran through and charged into the destroyers, and he also charged over 2 Vanguard over here after the explosion killed 3 of their friends. That was the one good thing that Raider did. My Incubi came around this direction, around the 2 Vanguard that were there, and advanced over to here and charged into Call and the 2 Vanguard. So we had everything neatly packaged and tied up right here. The Raps, I paid a command point for them to fall back and then charge. The whole reason for this was to shoot a Dark Lance and kill one. Would have been great. And then I used another Dark Lance from him to kill one. Both of them hit. Both of them did nothing. I don't even think they wounded. I don't think it was
They
your...
failed to wound.
Yeah, it wasn't even your great save rolls. It was just I couldn't wound it. The Hellions, they moved up to here, sat on this objective, which ended up really not mattering, but they did shoot and kill the 2 Vanguard with their Splinter Pods, so that was neat. Then in combat, all we managed to do was get 1 wound through. Yes, with a Hellion Hellglaive. 1 wound that he failed to save, which was enough to kill the 1 guy. He did not actually explode, we just marked it. But that was it. I really hoped those guys would do more than that. And the Racks, of course, they didn't really do anything either because poison weapons. But we did get rid of one of those, and he's in combat. I didn't have any room to get in and charge him. I wanted to, just to get him out of the picture shooting-wise, because now he'll probably clean up a model. But that's that. Over here, the Triptych Whip gal killed all but 1 destroyer. The Witches then piled in, killed the last destroyer. So they now have the 4 Binvol save through their Invigorated by Evisceration stratagem. The Archon managed to kill 2 Vanguard. That's about, I've discovered, the only thing he's good at, because I didn't give him a Gem Blade. So he was wounding on 4s. I was proud of him. Way to go. Well done, sir. The Incubi, because Drazar's just on the other side of this building here, had the +1 to wound, rolled 5 6s to wound against Call, and 2 4s. So it was bad. He didn't make any saves either, which also didn't help, but it was 15 or 16 damage that ended up going through. It was bananas. And then we piled in and tagged the robots over on this side. Took a wound in return for my efforts, because they're in the Protector. Is that what it's called? It's called Protector, yeah. So they can't move. There's no piling in. They can still punch, but that's how that worked. On this side of the board, my Witches quickly ran away from this nightmare over here. So I've got 3 Witches that survived getting out and exploding and all that, shooting, blah, blah, blah. They came over to this side, charged into the squad of Vanguard that were on this objective, killed them. These 4 Witches came around and charged the robots, and we actually tickled them. We took 2 wounds off. So proud of them. And then 2 of them died in return, so less proud of them. And over here, the Succubus stayed where she was, and she took 2 wounds off of that Iron Strider on that side. And that's it. So it was a nasty counterpunch from the Drukhari. And so we spent a lot of time discussing, because I didn't expect to be able to do half of that. Wesley is having a good chuckle. It was vicious. It was really, really bad. So we're going to play at least one more turn. But that was just my turn too. So it's this list is doing a lot more than I thought it was going to do. Oh, my mandrakes disappeared. They were going to come back somewhere else later on in the game. And this Ravager came all the way back here just so those scary Fulgurite priests couldn't just walk over and destroy it, because they would. So we'll see. AdMech, about to be turn 2. And what will happen, we'll find out in a moment. Okay, so turn 2 for AdMech. This dude went down to 3. He went down 3, so he's at 4 wounds, but he's still alive. And he got shot because this chicken walker hurt my succubus, and then the dune crawler with the auto stubber, or not heavy stubber, Cognis stubber. That's the one. It's all stubbery. Killed the witch. Yeah, she had 2 wounds left. She failed 2 saves. I even command point rerolled one to keep 1. No, nothing. Didn't happen. 4 ups for the loss. Then he killed these two witches with, what was it, 36 shots from the 2 robots. Yeah, amazingly, they died. Who knew? The priests, they went and charged my other 3 witches that were inside the building. For whatever reason, they died. I'm stunned, aren't you all? And then my incubi, they died from the other 2 robots. Nothing there was surprising. That I kind of knew was going to happen, but it kept the robots from shooting at other things that I didn't really wish to lose yet. I also lost a witch there from pistols. That was a data smith guy. They did make a bunch of saves, those witches, so I was proud of them. This guy took a couple wounds, I think. Maybe I was about to say it was a wound from this guy. That was disappointing. And that was from the stubber too, wasn't it? Yeah, because this big old cool eradication thing whiffed a little bit. Combat. These Hellions, they made up for it and killed the Dragoon. So the last time they did a single wound or 2 damage, I guess. And this time we got 5 through, so it was quite dead. Now my racks are not having to try to hit something they can't hurt. And that's it. So I don't know if I can deal with his robots, but I can deal with characters. But if I deal with characters, I deal with priests, and I don't really relish that idea either. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to have some fun. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I think turn 3, and then we might just be done after that. The big problem is the score right now is I've prevented Wesley from scoring any points so far. And that's going to cause an issue later. So he has the shooting and things to kill my stuff, but it's going to be a trick to get onto points. And that's kind of what we're looking at, is it's just going to be hard to follow up with a score. So that all being said, we will be back in just a second with a turn 3 summary.
So bad.
Here we go. It's so bad. It's gone horribly wrong. Once again, shooting, I can't shoot. End of turn 3 for Drukhari. I take it back. Got 1 shot through on the walker and killed it. So I got a Darklands to do a thing from this Ravager. This Ravager did nothing. This Raider got his Darklands to go through and took 6 wounds off the Dune Crawler. I was very proud of it. And then I charged the mighty 2 inches into that Dune Crawler with an 11. And then I did 2 wounds in combat. So it's down to 2, but it's still there. Raised a banner. My mandrakes have reappeared. Raised a banner. All of this mess got super spicy. The Hellions came in, shot at Vanguard and killed a couple. We shot at characters and didn't really do much. All of my blast pistols that I have in this bunch of people did nothing. Couldn't hit or wound either. And then at the end of all of this, I remembered that Drazar is like hanging out down here, picking his nose on the other side of the wall. Really could have used him, probably, but he's not doing anything. And then the witches and the Hellions combined to take down 2 Robotskis. I was impressed. Wesley was not. He was not impressed. They did not explode. So there we sit. So I'm a little concerned because all these priests are probably going to eliminate everything I put in the middle. It'll be a moral victory right there. That'll make Wesley's day. He's going to shoot the bejeebers out of everything with those robots, and then the priests are going to clean up whatever didn't die. And that'll be the end of that. So, it was a good combat turn for Drukhari, not a good shooting turn. But, yeah, we're at that point. There's not enough units left, really, for West to be able to play the game points-wise, so it's rough. You will get primary points this turn.
Yeah,
Aren't you
5.
excited? Aren't
5.
you excited?
After 2 turns of being
He's gonna have
nothing.
5. He's so excited. That was his happy voice. Could you tell? There you go. So that's the end of Drukhari. Turn 3. He is going to play this next turn because he wants to kill a lot of stuff with vengeance. There's going to be some mighty dice rolling, I think. Possibly some serious shooting as well. And then we'll probably see what's left after that. So we shall return after AdMech, turn 3. Well, the turn 3 is over. The Dune Crawler didn't kill this guy. It was sad. He did kill 3 of my 4 mandrakes, and then my last guy just ran away. He got scared, took off, couldn't handle it. He rolled a 6 on morale, like he super ran away. This guy is still kicking. This guy over here is still kicking. Those guys are fine. Over here where the excitement was, so robots just melt witches. Because, you know, even though I'm in melee, I don't get my 4-up invulnerable save against ranged attacks. That was a clarification I learned the other day. So all but 2 witches were killed with the shooting. And then these Fulgurite priests just came chomping through. And I actually, weirdly, only lost 1.5 Hellion to the shooting. Just because I have 2 wounds, pretty much. So the Fulgurites came in, mortal wounded another witch to death, and then my last one I just picked her up because what's the point? The Succubus was still okay from the mortal wounds. They didn't hurt her on the charge, but then she took exactly 5 wounds from melee, so just killed her. And then the Hellions, I lost another 1 just another 1 in melee. So they were there. The Hellions hit back and killed a robot. And the Archon tried to swing into the robot just because, why not? But that was that. So that's it. We're going to call the game at this point. Those priests are terrifying to me. So I played around them as best I could. And at the end of the game, he did raise the banner on that point back there. He took this point and knocked my banner down. So, you know, he's still playing the game a little bit, but it was getting kind of grimdark. So, scoring-wise, he will gain 5 points for primary that turn. So that was kind of rough. It was it was like 5 to 40 or something like that at the end of turn 3. Like it's pretty brutal. And this over here, we fought back and forth, and the Raider took another 2 wounds off the Doom Crawler because chain snares are a thing. So that's it. It was a lot of fun. I honestly was very surprised. The firepower is outstanding, but once you get them into melee, they still have problems.
Oh, they
stay
fall
alive.
apart.
They do. I was really surprised by that. And the priests, terrifying as they are, because it was just a big giant squad, they killed everything they touched. But I did play away from them, and that kept me in the game a little longer, I think, because if they'd been all on this front over here where I had Drazar and Incubi and stuff, Blood Brides, I think I would have ended all that. Because we'd have ended up hitting them, they would have been toast. So I don't know. That's one of those. It's one of those things. So that was a lot of fun. Thank you, sir, for making the trip. It was a lot of fun. I had a really good time playing. And first time I've played this list for the Drukhari, and I'm still not convinced how much I like it, because it's only 6 command points. But it played well, except for shooting. Couldn't shoot worth a flip, but played the rest of the game really well. So,
you're shredded in melee.
Yeah, the melee was pretty fantastic for this game. There you go. Hope you all enjoy it. It has been another Kitchen Table Wargaming Battle Report, and we'll see you on the next one.